W-H-I-T-N-E-Y. Who's that girl? It's Whitney Reynolds. Oh, she's got a show. Catch it on the weekends. Every single Saturday, right at noon on Chicago's NBC 5.2.
Hello and welcome to Weekends with Whitney. I'm your host, Whitney Reynolds, and we are such an awesome crew here today at the Food Truck Social 2012. What a great group. I'm joined by Heather Schaus, with a correspondent for Time Out Magazine, Food and Beverage. You do a lot of the write-ups.
Right.
So what are we expecting today here at the Food Truck Social?
So hopefully we're expecting to see a really good mix of some of Chicago's best food trucks. The idea behind this is to bring together a lot of different food and drink trucks, even trucks that sell dog food treats, all kinds of trucks in the city, bring them together and bring people out to kind of show what the food truck community is now and now that it's evolved. And now that we can bring people together for a really cool cause. A lot of the proceeds are also being donated to the Chicago Food Depository.
Love that.
Lots of good food and drink, and hopefully lots of people will come down and check it out.
Now you're an author and you actually wrote a book on food trucks. Tell us about your book.
So about 2 years ago, I started researching. About 2.5 years ago, I spent about a year traveling around the country, eating nothing but food trucks for about a year.
What a
really
tough
hard
job.
Yeah,
I was
tough
gonna say,
job.
man.
Everywhere from LA to Portland to Hawaii, and just traveled all around trying to find the best food trucks in the country, and then compiled a book called Food Trucks, Dispatches and Recipes from America's Best Kitchens on Wheels.
Whoa, oh my goodness.
Long title, pretty concise book though. It's basically about 100 of the best food trucks in America.
So out of all your research, how does Chicago rank?
Well, actually, Chicago is on the rise now. We have about 127 licensed food trucks in Chicago. But when I first started this research for the book, there were 5.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's grown substantially in the last 2 years. And a lot of that is with Mayor Rahm Emanuel coming on board in support and the City Council coming on board in support. The most recent ordinance that passed is a little, they're still trying to work out a few of the details, but our food truck scene is pretty young. It's a younger food truck scene than, say, LA or Portland, but we're trying to catch up and make it really diverse and thriving.
Which is so interesting, because I would think Chicago, we are such an eclectic city that we really, I feel like, could bring in all these different cultures that we see, because we are a melting pot.
Definitely.
And we'll be able to see that in our food trucks. Do you get that kind of vibe?
I mean, you definitely have all realms. You have Mexican, Vietnamese, fusion, all kinds of barbecue, all kinds of great different styles of food, but it's just a younger scene. It's just starting to get known, and they're trying to navigate the laws. That's probably the toughest part that the food truck community has had to deal with, is just trying to navigate competition with brick and mortar restaurants, and where can we park, where can't we park, that kind of thing.
Right, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, just trying to figure out where it all falls into place with the traditional structure of our food service industry. So
Time Out Magazine, they team up with Westtown
Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, this is the 2nd year.
Yeah, so last year we had unbelievable attendance, and we're hoping this year that we'll have the same, if not better. We're dealing a little bit with weather this season, but
I know.
We're hoping that it doesn't deter people from coming out and braving the shorter lines. That's a good thing.
That's what I was going to say.
Lines.
I would prefer, whenever I go places, for a shorter line. I don't have to wait, so I'm not very patient.
Last year the lines were out of control. So this year we decided to go ahead and do, more trucks, shorter lines, try to disperse the trucks a little bit better. But I think that it's about the same amount of trucks, but the diversity has improved as well.
Where can people find out all about food trucks? I mean, do you have a certain go-to?
Yeah, I think
this is a new concept. My mom in Oklahoma is still like, food what? And I'm like, Mom,
she's like, roach coaches? What's going on?
What is going on here?
Yeah,
do you have a certain go-to place that you feel like is really educational on food trucks?
Well, if you go, Time Out Chicago actually did a really great story about 3 months ago that listed all of the trucks in the city, what they sell, what their Twitter handle is. So if you just Google Time Out Chicago and food trucks, article, Twitter handles, or something of that sort.
Yeah.
Use your Google sources, that article should come up. And there are also aggregators now, Twitter aggregators, where you can go to one and you can, like chicagofoodtrucks.com, and there are a lot of different sites out there that bring all of the Twitter aggregator up into one little source, so that way you can track them.
Is this something that you see one day a lot of small towns having these? Do you see it
spread
going everywhere?
Yeah, I mean the second tier, third tier cities, Milwaukee, Madison, Kansas City, those kind of cities are definitely picking up on the trend. They'll have 8 or 9 trucks, but they're trying, and they're really bringing their diversity to the scene overall. It's not like LA where they have about 7,000 trucks.
Ooh,
So
wow.
we're kind of in the middle.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Slowly,
We're trying
but
to step it
surely.
up for sure.
Well, we're going to find out all about the laws and all that kind of stuff that's going into effect that could be changing the way we see food trucks
Sure.
here in Chicago. And then I'm also going to hop on board, whoop, whoop, and hop on a food truck and serve up some dishes. So
Nice.
thank you so much, Heather,
Thanks for having
coming out.
me.
Where can people find out all about you?
HeatherJSchaus.com.
There
or
you
you can
go.
just Google Food Trucks book and it'll come up.
Or just look in Time Out Magazine
That's
for your
right.
little correspondence.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Heather, for coming on. Guys,
you.
we'll be right back. Trust me, we are going to be in a food coma by the end of it. We'll be right back. Does your business need W3's help? Whether it's advertising or video needs, we're here for you. Contact sales@weekendswithwhitney.com.
This portion of Weekends with Whitney is brought to you by Nitrogen Legal PC. Legal help when you need it most. Call 312-698-8909.
Hello and welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. I'm your host, Whitney Reynolds, and we are here at the Food Truck Social, just living and loving it up. I'm telling you guys, you are seeing my Texas roots right now because it is humid and we are getting the Texas teas, hair going crazy going on. I'm joined by Mitch Kavanaugh. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Well, I'm glad because you're actually kind of having us. You guys are part of the Food Truck Social, Kendall College. Tell us exactly what you do with Kendall College.
I'm the event chef at Kendall College, so it's all internal and external events. We do everything for the school. We've done everything for outside clients, weddings, all that type of stuff.
Well, let's talk about Kendall and what's going on with you this fall because this is a big deal. You guys are getting your first ever food truck.
Yep, hopefully mid-October to beginning of October, we're going to have our own food truck. So we look at it as another outlet for our students to be up with current trends and another type of service that they can pursue when they leave Kendall.
Absolutely. So Kendall College is all about culinary, teaching people how to do the culinary backgrounds. You have how many students come through there?
About 5,000 or so a year.
That is incredible.
Plus we also have hospitality as well and early elementary education and business.
That is awesome. And speaking of 5,000, next year you guys are going to host this Food Truck Social, which is a really big deal.
Yep, so we, moving forward, we'll be the permanent home of the Food Truck Social every year.
Ooh. Well, we will get into that a little bit later. We're going to have the West Town Chamber. You're still going to be partnering up with them, which is a great thing. So Kendall College and food trucks has a lot changed since the new laws have gone into place.
It's benefited both sides with being both brick and mortar and the food trucks. The food trucks can now cook on board, which is great, and then the brick and mortar.
Hang on one second. They can now cook on board?
Yep, so they are able to prepare everything on board. They don't have to hold it, prepare it in one site, and then travel and bring it to another site and hold it.
So in the past, up until this new law passed, people could not cook on board.
No, they could not.
And now they can. So this
Now
is
they
really
can,
going to change the way that people do it.
Yes, of course. And you're going
Okay.
to see a lot more food trucks on the street as well.
And you're also going to, they still have to live up to standards. I know that's one of my questions, but of course they have to.
Of course, yeah.
And I love what you said about the brick and mortar because it's still protecting the businesses that are located in the same spot, the
Yep.
same restaurant, that can't just move around.
Exactly.
What
So
is the law on that?
they can't be within, no food truck can be within 200 feet of any place that sells food.
Oh, okay, wow. So this Kendall College food truck that you're making, is it going to say Kendall College or is it going to be a cupcake truck? What's going to be going on?
It's going to be Kendall College. We're going to focus on sandwiches and sides. Hopefully we can keep everything for right around $10 when you can get pretty much a complete meal for about $10.
I love that. You know, I've been going to some establishments where it used to be $3 and now I'm spending $10. So $10 is right up my alley. And is it going to be healthy?
We're going to try to shoot for the healthier side of things as well. We're going to daily specials and that sort of thing. Whatever's being cooked at the school that day, we're hoping we can turn and sell to the public.
Well, speaking of healthy, you cooked me a pork sandwich. Tell us what's going on right here.
We did an Italian pork sandwich, so it's pork cooked in the style of Italian beef, and it's got cheese and giardiniera on it as well.
Oh my goodness, now is this one of your own creations?
It is, yes.
Okay, while I take a bite, I want you to explain to people what I'm going to be tasting, okay?
So it's pork shoulder that has been simmered with oregano and pepper and salt until it was just falling apart, and then we shredded it up, and then you can get it dipped and not dipped, just like the same.
And this
like
is
an Italian
dipped?
beef. Yeah, that is dipped.
Oh man, it's a hot one.
It's the giardiniera on top.
The
yes.
giardiniera on top, and that was one of your own creations.
It's a Chicago staple.
A Chicago staple. I'm telling you, I'm taking in all the Chicago staples.
Sounds
Speaking of which, coming up next, we are going to sit down with a pizza maker, and that's another Chicago staple.
Of course.
I love that. So are you ever going to do rotations on the food truck?
Yeah, we'll have daily specials, and we'll have things that are only on Mondays, only on Tuesdays, so on and so forth.
Well, Kendall College has a lot more than just food trucks and culinary, like teaching kids how to cook, teaching chefs, all that kind of great stuff. I've actually judged a few competitions there. But you do a dinner?
We have the dining room was open to the public Monday through Saturdays. And then we also have cooking classes on the weekends, which is called Spice Up Your Life. Cooking
classes on the weekends. I think that people need to watch Weekends with Whitney and then send me off to cooking class, because that is one area that I am lacking a little bit in. Can you teach anybody how to cook?
If they want to learn, yes.
Well, I would love to learn, or maybe, I don't know, maybe that is the concept. Maybe I don't want to learn.
Yeah.
But you have these classes, and it's when?
Saturdays and Sundays sometimes. You just check the website. It's all the information.
And the website is?
Kendall.edu.
Kendall.edu, and we will be on your turf next year.
Yep, yes you will.
Woo, well, I am so excited. Thank you so much for coming on. Guys, coming up next, we are going to sit down with the Westtown Chamber of Commerce that put on this big event that you're seeing right here on Weekends with Whitney. Don't go away. During the commercial break, I'm going to be chugging the water. We'll be right back. Does your business need W3's help? Whether it's advertising or video needs, we're here for you. Contact sales at weekendswithwhitney.com.
This portion of Weekends with Whitney is brought to you by Celebrity Skin Couture Air Tan. Looking for that perfect summer glow without damaging your skin? Do it the Whitney way, custom airbrushing that is. Stop by at 1652 West North Avenue, right in Chicago, or call 773-697-4833 to book your tan today.
Hello and welcome back to Weekends with Whitney. I'm your host, Whitney Reynolds, and we are here with Cara Salgado. Now, you are a woman that has made a lot of this happen. You're the executive director for the Westtown Chamber of Commerce, which the Westtown is actually who's hosting this event.
Yes, we are producers of the event with Time Out Chicago and Empty Bottle Presents.
Empty Bottle Presents. That is the music that we've been hearing all throughout the day.
I'm sure you've heard of the Empty Bottle on Western. It's a great live music venue in the neighborhood, and they book a lot of the live music for our special events.
I was going to say, it is absolutely phenomenal just to hear that extra little bump up. The rain is coming, but we're not letting it get us down.
I looked at the satellite. It looks like it's going to pass over and clear up. Fewer lines, less waiting for your delicious food, and we have the big tents for seating, so it's actually a good time to come out, I think.
Yes, and I feel like Westtown of Chicago, you know, I came from Dallas 3 years ago, and I have been slowly but surely discovering new neighborhoods all throughout this. And Westtown, I feel like, is kind of one of those gems that you really have to experience.
I like that you used the word discover, because we just launched a mobile app for Westtown called Discover Westtown, and every smartphone has one. It's like a business directory with all the restaurants and hot deals and retailers and special events. It's a great app.
I know we're seeing so many food trucks right here, and I want to get back to how you guys developed this, but what can we see in Westtown if we were going to come and discover this area?
Well, it's a lot of independent business owners.
That's cool.
Young entrepreneurs, sole proprietors. You don't see a lot of big box kind of stores, and that's
so keeping it local.
That. Yeah, very much so. And great restaurants usually lead the way in neighborhoods in sort of transition like this, and wonderful retail. We've got a lot of growth happening.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about, speaking of growing, 10,000 people, 20,000 people over the course of a weekend. This is huge. How did you come up with this idea?
Well, it was actually Time Out Chicago that came to you, spoke with Heather.
Yeah.
It was their concept, and they came to the Westtown Chamber for a location. They know about our special events and what we can bring to the table, and we worked together to bring it to Westtown. Last year we were in a different spot. We were expecting maybe 5,000 people. We had an empty lot and had the truck set up, and we had over 10,000 people. And our biggest problems were long lines and
porta potties,
and the trucks running out of food.
The truck.
So this year, that's why we made it 2 days. We expanded it.
Wow.
A few more trucks, different trucks each day.
Now, is this going to continue like every year?
We actually partnered with Kendall College this year, and our future home of Food Truck Social is going to be in the Kendall College parking lot. It's a great tie-in. They're starting a food truck program.
But it's still going to be with the Westtown Chamber?
Yeah, Westtown, Time Out Chicago, Empty Bottle Presents at Kendall College. That's going to be the permanent new home next year.
Wow.
And
now, for people that don't know about Kendall College, it's actually a culinary school, or they have a division? Or is it all culinary?
It's all culinary. There's different, management, chef, there's different directions you can take there, or majors, I guess.
Wow,
But,
yeah.
it's a really neat school, and we actually had a lunch meeting there. They have a really high-end restaurant on the 3rd floor with great views, and the part of the program is the chefs have to take a turn as waiters, and it's all a trial thing.
So that way they know every part of it.
And it's really high-end food at reasonable prices, and you just have to fill out a report card at the end. It's open to the public. I didn't know about it. It's a great thing.
That is really neat. I will
Yeah.
definitely have to check that out.
But-
And so next year it is going to move to that location.
Yes, and Kendall College is going to start a food truck. They're going to purchase. They almost had one in time for this event. This year, everything was almost in time. The ordinance passed, but none of these trucks actually do have the new permitting yet.
Well, that is a different, I mean, I know we just talked about that in the prior segment, but it's new and people have to adapt whenever things, but I think it's a change for the good.
Definitely. Well, now they can cook on the trucks.
Yeah.
That's the difference. In Chicago, there wasn't a permit that exists for them to cook on the truck. It had to be pre-prepared, pre-packaged, and then dispensed from the truck.
And you're excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely. It allows the chefs and the food truckers to be able to prepare fresher, more interesting dishes, more high-end.
You know, when I go to NBC, whenever I'm parking my car, I always see there's this one food truck right out there, and he dominates that little area. I mean, there is a line out the wazoo for that.
These people have a following with the whole social media and Twitter.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the tamale spaceship was here, and there was a line, 100 long all day for these tamales.
People
because
did say, look for the tamale spaceship. That's what they were tweeting me.
They're so
Yeah.
good, they really are.
Oh, knees buckle. Well, I hope I have that experience next because I'm actually going to jump on some food trucks right after this break. But thank you so much for coming on. Where can people find out all about the West Town Chamber?
Well, we have westtownchamber.org. We also have westtownschicago.com.
Woo! We're just getting all these West Towns. And then
yeah,
you said
the mobile
Discovery,
app.
the mobile app. I love
Just
that.
launched it in July, so
Thank
everybody
you,
should
Cara,
download
so
it.
much for coming on, and we will have to come back next year. But we're not letting the rain stop us. Rain or shine, we are enjoying the day. Thank you, Cara. Guys, coming up next, we are going to get your knees buckling because I am going to hop on a food truck. That's right. We're doing it. Okay, we'll be right back. You did so. Does your business need W3's help? Whether it's advertising or video needs, we're here for you. Contact sales@weekendswithwhitney.com.
This portion of Weekends with Whitney is brought to you by K-Page Salon, Whitney's official hair, makeup, and skin provider. Stop by 956 West Webster in Lincoln Park for all your beauty needs, or simply call 773-477-3000. Get that W3 look.
We are back, and I'm taking this food truck thing serious, guys. I am at Ponies with Tony DeBossimo. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you very much. How are you doing?
I'm doing great because I am absolutely just loving the fact that we are in your food truck and embracing the moment. I mean, this is what it's all about. We've been here today, 10,000 people, and guys, it's raining, but that's not stopping us here. We are still, rain or shine, gonna serve up some customers.
Absolutely. We're ready.
Okay, you are ready, and you've been here for this 2-day event. Now, how long has Ponies been around?
We've been around for 17 years.
Wow, but when did this food truck actually get established?
We launched it last year around the end of October.
The end of October. Now, how has it changed as the food truck laws have changed? You can cook here now?
They're ready to pass, they just passed the ordinance, and we're just waiting for the mayor to sign off on it.
So once he signs off, is that going to change how you do business?
Absolutely.
Okay, so what kind of changes can we
We're
see?
going to definitely be cooking wood-burning brick oven pizza on the truck.
On the truck? Wood burning
Yes.
on a truck sounds a little dangerous. Are we going to be safe here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll follow all the municipal codes and everything we have to do along the
That's
way.
very safe for TV
Yes.
purposes to
Yes.
say out
Yes.
loud. Did
Yes.
you hear that, guys? He's going to be following codes. Do not worry.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about changes too with the menu. What have people been able to see you evolve in the last couple of years?
Well, we've been, basically what we're doing on the truck is we're doing a Chicago-style deep dish pizza. And
Wait, time out.
Okay.
Did you hear that, guys? Deep dish on a truck?
Yes, yes.
Now that normally takes 45 minutes.
No, it's
At a
instant.
restaurant.
At a restaurant. Here we're instant.
We're instant. Now how do we
Instant.
do this? Or are you going to give the family secrets? if you
Basically, we're a prepackaged truck right now, so we pre-make it at our restaurant, and then we package it, label it, and then we bring it to our customers.
tell? Now where is the flagship restaurant?
We're at 7419 West Irving Park Road.
Wow, I absolutely love that. And so people come in all the time to the restaurant, but now when they see the truck, are they able to establish that you can do the same thing on a truck?
Absolutely.
That is so incredible.
They'll be able to associate the brick oven at the restaurant with the brick oven on the truck as soon as the ordinance passes and everything.
So this is big news for you.
This is going to be huge for us. I think it's going to be a great thing for us.
Well, and I'm glad that we're breaking it right here on Weekends with Whitney. That is great. I'm going to have to come up and serve some deep dish pizzas when we're rolling around town.
Okay, great.
Weekends with Whitney live at Ponies on the food truck with a wood-burning oven.
Yeah, and feel free to stop by. Right, you can get it hot off the back of the truck. We're making wood-burning brick oven pizza right here, right now.
That was my next question. How do people find exactly where you are all the time?
You can follow us on Twitter at CaponiesEXP, or you can go to CaponiesTrattoria.com.
And that's how people find you?
Yes.
And
yes.
do you do GPS on your truck? Like, to
well,
let people know?
we definitely do Twitter. So,
Twitter.
Yes.
What's Twitter? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Of course, what's Twitter? So where can people follow you again? Let's find out.
CaponiesEXP.
Okay, wonderful.
And then you can follow us on Facebook at CaponiesTrattoria.com.
I love that. Now, Josh.
Hey there.
I know. Now, you actually follow them on Twitter, but you do a lot of following just in general because you have a new website.
Yes, yeah,
Josh
Chicago.
Ferguson, guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, we've been following food trucks for quite a few years now. We have a guy who basically retweets, keeps up, and tries to manage where they're going, where they're setting up, and where you can get food.
Now, is this a new concept, or have you been around for a long time?
We've been around. The site's been around for about 8 years. We've been publishing all things food, so restaurants, recipes, home cooking, diet and nutrition, food policy. The whole 9 yards. So it's a unique site in that regard, and the food truck Twitter tracking is a little bit more recent, but still a couple of years old.
Wow, that is awesome. So look in this camera real quick and tell people where they can find you.
Oh, you can find us at chicagofoodies.com, and you can follow all these trucks at Chicago Foodies on Twitter.
And speaking of foodies, I am a huge foodie, so we are going to the next food truck. Come on, folks. Well, we are at our last and final food truck from our food truck social day here at Weekends with Whitney. I'm joined by Gabrielle Wiesen. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you very much for having me and venturing out in the rain.
I know. I can't help but just want to reenact like I'm singing in the rain and eating some donuts. I just love it. This has been such an adventure today. Tell us a little bit about your weekend, because I know that you gave up your truck yesterday.
Absolutely. So yesterday we had our truck featured as the pop-up truck for the event, where we had 3 different chefs from Chicago, several high-end restaurants, including MK, Mexique, and Frontier, who came by and served their versions of street food and what they would like to hopefully one day serve out of a food truck. Up until more recently, Chicago did not have laws allowing for mobile food cooking, and my truck actually cooks and prepares all of our donuts fresh to order for our customers, so this will enable us a lot more freedom to get out there and serve more Chicagoans.
I love that. So let's talk about the name Beavers Coffee and Donuts, because when we were out and doing events earlier this summer and we talked about this food truck social, they were saying you got to get Beavers. So what is the hype behind all this?
Well, I think, donuts really are kind of the new cupcake this year, and we've sort of decided to go the route of mini donuts with gourmet toppings. So we're very unique. They're very light and airy like beignets, and you can't get a fresh donut out of the fryer anywhere else in the city.
I love that. And then what about the name Beaver?
It's actually inspired by Jim's goddaughter. She was doing a drawing. She's about 4 years old.
And Jim is?
Drawing, and Jim is my business partner.
Okay, so another business partner, and it was his goddaughter?
It was his goddaughter's drawing that we decided to just run with in the name.
Rain or shine, Weekends with Whitney is always going to bring it, so just remember that. We're not letting a little rain get us down.
I'm going to do my anti-rain dance.
Yeah, the anti-rain dance. That's right. I know. All we need is a little music here. But thank you so much, guys, for coming out with us for Food Truck Social 2012. You're gonna want to stay tuned for our next live audience show. You think 10,000 is a lot? Just wait for our holiday spectacular this year. Go to weekendswithwhitney.com for all the info. And I know everyone's been talking about how you can follow these food trucks. Make sure to retweet W3Whitney, because we'll be hunting down these donuts. You know me, I'm a foodie. So thank you so much for coming on. Guys, we'll see you right back here next Saturday and Sunday.